Hold on to your seats, because what we're about to dive into is straight out of a thriller movie, but it's real life. And the FBI has just dropped a bombshell that's shaking the music world to its core. Imagine this: D4vd, the rising star whose melodic tunes have captured millions, is now at the center of a chilling investigation that nobody saw coming. The FBI has confirmed what was once whispered in shadows. D4v is the killer. And the proof? The wig of his latest victim was found right inside his home. Fans are in shock, emotions are running wild, and the music industry is divided like never before. The drama doesn't stop there. Family members are pointing fingers, friends are questioning their loyalty, and the internet is buzzing with wild theories and heated debates. How did a promising artist become linked to such a dark, twisted crime? What secrets lurk behind the polished facade? Tonight, we're peeling back the layers to reveal the explosive story behind the headlines. Stay tuned, because this saga is packed with betrayals, hidden agendas, and jaw-dropping twists that will leave you guessing until the very end. You won't want to miss a second. The moment the FBI dropped the news that D4vd was linked to a chilling crime, the internet exploded. Fans who once admired his soulful melodies and raw lyrics couldn't believe the artist they adored was now the prime suspect in a murder investigation. The wig found at his home wasn't just any wig, belonged to the latest victim, a young woman whose disappearance had baffled authorities for weeks. Suddenly, the story everyone thought was just another crime drama took a dark, personal turn, and D4vd's world began to crumble under the weight of suspicion. The first time the news broke, his closest friends were in utter disbelief. "There's no way D4vd could do something like this," one longtime collaborator told us, his voice trembling. "He's always been about the music, the fans, and keeping it real. This has to be some huge mistake." But as more details emerged, those defenses started to crack. People began to question what they thought they knew about the man behind the microphone. How could someone so young, so talented, be involved in something so sinister? Family drama only made the situation messier. D4vd's parents, once his biggest supporters, were now torn. His mother was adamant about his innocence, holding on to the hope that this was all a terrible misunderstanding. "My son would never hurt anyone," she cried during a rare interview. "He's my baby, and I know deep down the truth will come out." Meanwhile, his father was more pragmatic, demanding answers and pushing for the truth no matter what it meant. The family was left divided, emotions running high as they faced the unthinkable possibility that their son was capable of murder. The victim's family, on the other hand, was devastated and angry. They had watched the news with growing horror as investigators connected the dots. "We just want justice," the victim's brother said through tears. To know the person who did this is someone famous makes it even harder to accept. Their pain was raw, fueling a public outcry that swept through social media. Hashtags demanding justice trended for days, and fans of both the victim and D4vd found themselves on opposite sides of a fierce debate amid the chaos. More surprising details surfaced. It was revealed that the wig found at D4vd's house had been tested and confirmed by forensic experts to belong to the victim. This piece of evidence was a game-changer, pushing the case from speculation to hard proof. But questions remained. How did the wig end up in his possession? Was this a careless mistake or part of a twisted game? Some insiders suggested a darker motive, one fueled by jealousy, obsession, or betrayal. Rumors swirled about the night the victim disappeared. Sources close to the investigation hinted that D4vd and the victim had met at a private party days before she vanished. Witnesses claimed to have overheard a heated argument between the two, sparking theories that the conflict might have escalated beyond words. Friends of D4vd said he was known to have a temper, but nobody expected it to spiral into violence. He's passionate, yes, a former manager revealed. But violence? That's out of character. Or maybe we never really knew him. Fans online started digging deeper into D4vd's past, searching for any clues or signs that could explain the shocking turn. Some pointed to his recent song lyrics, interpreting hidden messages as cries for help or hints at guilt. Others defended him fiercely, calling the accusations a witch hunt fueled by jealousy and sensationalism. The internet was divided, and the debate only added fuel to the fire. Conspiracy theories emerged, some suggesting a frame-up. Others alleging a secret double life that D4vd had been hiding from the world. One of the most dramatic moments came when D4vd's sister broke her silence on social media. In a tearful video, she pleaded for the public to stop judging her brother before all the facts were out. "He's my brother, and I know him better than anyone," she said. "Please wait for the truth. Don't believe everything you hear." Her emotional appeal added a new layer to the story, highlighting the personal toll the investigation was taking on those closest to D4vd. Meanwhile, law enforcement officials revealed that the investigation was ongoing, with new leads emerging almost daily. They emphasized that while the wig was a crucial piece of evidence, they were still piecing together the timeline of events. "We are following every lead and leaving no stone unturned," one investigator stated. This kept the public on edge, wondering what shocking revelation might come next. As the drama unfolded, D4vd remained silent. No public statements, no social media posts, nothing. His absence only fueled speculation. Was he hiding guilt, or was he trying to protect himself and his family from the media storm? Insiders said his legal team was working around the clock, preparing for what would likely be a brutal battle in the courtroom. The impact on D4vd's career was immediate and severe. Streaming platforms began to pull his music, sponsors dropped him, and venues canceled upcoming shows. The artist who once seemed unstoppable was now facing a collapse that could end his career forever. Fans mourned the loss of the man they thought they knew, while others celebrated the justice that might finally be served. But just when everyone thought the story couldn't get any more intense, a shocking twist turned everything upside down. A new witness came forward, claiming to have seen someone else leaving the victim's apartment on the night she disappeared. This new lead suggested the possibility of a conspiracy to frame D4v, adding even more uncertainty to an already complicated case. The family of the victim was skeptical, but willing to listen, while D4vd's supporters grabbed onto the hope that their idol might be innocent after all. This unexpected development set off a new wave of speculation and debate, proving that the story was far from over. Amid all this chaos, the personal struggles behind the headlines began to surface. D4vd's closest friends spoke about the toll the accusations had taken on him, how he'd become withdrawn, paranoid, and afraid. "He's not the same person anymore," one friend revealed. "This whole thing has broken him." The pressures of fame, combined with the weight of the investigation, painted a tragic picture of a young man caught in a nightmare. The victim's family, meanwhile, struggled to cope with their grief and the relentless media attention. They held vigils and started advocacy campaigns to raise awareness about violence against women, hoping to turn their tragedy into a force for change. Their strength in the face of heartbreak inspired many, but also highlighted the devastating human cost of the scandal. Lawyers from both sides prepared for what would become a highly publicized trial, with legal experts predicting a fierce courtroom battle filled with dramatic testimonies and explosive revelations. The stakes were high not just for D4vd, but for everyone involved, and just when the world thought the nightmare couldn't deepen, rumors leaked about a secret recording and audio tape that might hold the key to unlocking the truth. Whispers said the tape captured a conversation between D4v and the victim, revealing secrets that could change everything. Investigators reportedly had the tape but were tight-lipped about its contents, leaving everyone desperate for answers. Meanwhile, tabloids ran wild, publishing wild claims and even more dramatic theories. Some said the entire case was a publicity stunt gone wrong, while others insisted there was a hidden mastermind behind the scenes manipulating the story for personal gain. The line between reality and fiction blurred, and it was clear this saga would dominate headlines for months to come. As this storm of emotions, accusations and revelations raged on, one thing was clear: nothing about D4vd's story was simple anymore. From a beloved artist to a murder suspect, the journey was full of heartbreak, betrayal, and shocking twists. Fans, family, and friends were left to wonder what really happened that fateful night. And would the truth ever come out in full? And here we are, still at the beginning of a saga that promises to redefine everything we thought we knew about fame, loyalty, and justice. But hold on, because the next chapter is about to peel back even more layers, revealing secrets that will blow your mind. Stay with us, because the story is just getting started. The air was thick with tension as the investigation into D4vd's alleged involvement in the murder deepened. Just as the public tried to catch their breath from the shocking revelation of the wig found in his home, new developments came crashing down like a tidal wave. The FBI was now not only focusing on physical evidence, but also diving into D4vd's digital life hiss messages, social media interactions, and even deleted files. Insiders revealed that investigators uncovered a series of cryptic texts between D4vd and the victim in the weeks leading up to her disappearance, hinting at a relationship far more complicated than anyone had imagined. These messages were filled with a mix of affection and anger, painting a picture of a volatile connection. One message read, "You don't understand me," followed by, "Why are you pushing me away?" The back and forth showed someone struggling with trust and control, emotions spiraling out of control. Friends of D4vd admitted they noticed his mood swings but never expected this darkness beneath his charm. He was distant, sometimes cold, said a close confidant. But no one thought it would end like this. Meanwhile, the victim's circle began revealing hidden sides of her life. Close friends spoke out, sharing stories of a woman caught in a toxic cycle. She was scared, one friend said quietly. There were fights, threats, things she didn't want anyone to know. This painted a heartbreaking backdrop, suggesting the tragedy was born from a tangled web of emotions, not just a random act of violence. As the evidence piled up, the FBI arrested D4vd's former manager, claiming he might have had a role in covering up critical details. This unexpected arrest shocked everyone, raising questions about loyalty and betrayal within D4vd's inner circle. Was the manager protecting his client, or was he hiding something even darker? During a tense interrogation, the manager reportedly refused to speak, fueling speculation that the truth was far messier than anyone expected. Family. Members of D4vd found themselves caught in the storm. His sister's earlier plea for patience was met with mixed reactions as some relatives started turning against each other. Accusations flew about who might have known more and who was protecting whom. Late-night family confrontations reportedly ended in tears and shouting matches. As trusts shattered under the pressure of public scrutiny, fans remained fiercely divided. Some launched campaigns defending D4v, insisting on his innocence and calling out what they labeled media witch hunts. Others demanded justice for the victim, flooding social media with hashtags and heartfelt posts. The clash escalated into heated online battles, with emotions running so high that even former friends and collaborators publicly took sides, tearing apart previously strong alliances in an unexpected turn. A close friend of the victim came forward with a startling claim. The victim had confided fears about someone stalking her in the weeks before her death. She allegedly named D4vd in her private journals, describing him as obsessive and controlling. This revelation intensified the narrative of a dangerous relationship. But D4vd's defense team argued these entries were taken out of context, a misinterpretation fueled by grief and public pressure. The legal drama also heated up when D4vd's lawyers filed motions to suppress key pieces of evidence, arguing that the wig was planted and that digital evidence was obtained illegally. Court hearings became battlegrounds, with lawyers clashing over technicalities and the admissibility of explosive findings. Media coverage turned courtroom drama into a primetime spectacle, and every twist was dissected by fans and critics alike. Amidst this chaos, D4vd's music career was officially on hold. Major record labels distanced themselves, canceling deals and pulling promotional materials. Streaming platforms dropped his songs, and music charts that once celebrated him now reflected silence. This commercial fallout was devastating, and sources close to D4vd revealed he was grappling with the loss of his identity, his future hanging in the balance. But the story took a jaw-dropping twist when a mysterious video surfaced online. The footage showed a figure resembling D4v arguing with a shadowy person moments before the victim's disappearance. Fans and experts scrambled to analyze every detail: lighting, voice, tones, even background noises. Was this proof of guilt or a cleverly staged setup? The video sparked a frenzy, igniting fresh debates and forcing investigators back to the drawing board, as if the saga wasn't intense enough. The victim's family announced a civil lawsuit against D4vd for emotional damages and wrongful death. This legal battle promised to expose more secrets, with both sides preparing to bring explosive testimonies to light. Insiders suggested this would become one of the most publicized celebrity trials in recent history. With every detail scrutinized and dissected by the media, the emotional toll on everyone involved was palpable. Friends described D4vd as a shell of his former self, isolated and haunted by the accusations. "He's scared," said one friend. "He knows his life will never be the same." Meanwhile, the victim's family found strength in their fight for justice, becoming vocal advocates against domestic violence and toxic relationships. Throughout this turmoil, questions lingered. How did the relationship between D4vd and the victim spiral so dangerously out of control? Were there warning signs missed by those around them? And most importantly, what was the truth behind the wig found in D4vd's home? Was it a careless mistake, a sinister trophy, or something else entirely? As the case moved closer to trial, experts predicted explosive revelations that could either convict D4v or clear his name. The public braced for the final chapter, hungry for closure, but aware that in stories like this, the truth is often more complicated than it seems. And so the story continues, weaving a tangled web of passion, betrayal, and unanswered questions. Just when you think you know the truth, a new piece of the puzzle falls into place, forcing everyone to rethink what they believed. Stay tuned, because the next part will uncover even more secrets and bring us closer to a shocking conclusion. The courtroom was packed, the atmosphere electric with anticipation. D4vd had finally decided to break his silence, taking the stand amid a sea of flashing cameras and murmurs from the crowd. Emotions ran high as he faced his accusers, ready to tell his side of the story that had captured the world's attention. "I never wanted any harm to come to her," he said, voice trembling but resolute. "I was confused, angry, but not a killer." His words sent ripples through the room. Some fans wept in relief, while others sat in stunned silence. But the prosecution was ready, bringing forward a parade of witnesses to dismantle D4vd's defense. One by one, they recounted the volatile relationship between the artist and the victim, painting a picture of jealousy, obsession, and explosive arguments. A former roommate testified about late-night fights that left the apartment trembling, while a friend shared messages where D4vd expressed possessiveness and rage. "I didn't recognize him," the friend confessed. "He was someone else entirely. He was someone else entirely." The victim's family listened silently as painful memories resurfaced. The courtroom became a stage for their grief, raw and unfiltered. "She was my sister," the victim's brother said, voice cracking. "A vibrant woman full of life, taken from us too soon." His testimony brought many in the courtroom to tears, including some of D4vd's staunchest supporters who struggled to reconcile the person on trial with the artist they admired. Amid the trial, new evidence emerged. Set of security camera footages from the night of the disappearance, showing D4vd leaving the victim's apartment late at night, looking agitated. This visual confirmation was a blow to the defense, forcing them to pivot. They argued that leaving the scene did not prove guilt and suggested someone else could have committed the crime after D4vd left, keeping the door open for reasonable doubt. Then came the bombshell testimony from the previously arrested former manager. Breaking his silence, he described a complicated relationship with D4v, confessing to attempts to shield the artist from negative press, but denying involvement in any cover-up related to the crime. "I wanted to protect him," he said, "but truth has a way of coming out." His mixed confession left the courtroom buzzing, adding another layer of complexity to an already tangled narrative. Meanwhile, the mysterious video that surfaced online underwent forensic analysis, with experts testifying that it showed signs of digital manipulation. This revelation threw the case into chaos, with the defense arguing the evidence was fabricated to frame D4v. Public opinion split further. Was this the truth finally setting him free, or just another twist in a web of deception? Outside the courtroom, protests erupted both in support of D4v and in memory of the victim. Social media campaigns intensified, with hashtags trending globally. Fans and critics clashed fiercely, their arguments spilling into every corner of the internet. The drama transcended the legal battle, becoming a cultural phenomenon that forced society to confront issues of fame, mental health, and justice. D4vd's family remained in the spotlight, their personal lives dissected by tabloids and commentators. Interviews revealed heartbreaking accounts of their struggle to cope with the public fallout. "We just want the truth," D4vd's mother said quietly. "Not fame, not money, just truth." This humanized the story, reminding everyone that behind the headlines were real people grappling with unimaginable pain. As the trial progressed, the emotional toll on D4vd grew evident. His once vibrant demeanor faded, replaced by exhaustion and vulnerability. Close friends reported that he had become withdrawn, spending long hours reflecting on his choices and the path that led him here. Some feared he might break under the pressure, while others hoped for redemption amidst the courtroom drama. A new piece of evidence emerged: a handwritten note from the victim, discovered in her belongings, that spoke of fear and desperation. The note hinted at threats and a plea for help, deepening the tragic narrative and strengthening the prosecution's case. This poignant detail resonated with many, adding urgency to the demand for justice. Legal experts debated the significance of each revelation, predicting that the trial's outcome could set precedents for how celebrity cases are handled in the future. The high-profile nature of the case exposed the challenges of separating truth from spectacle in the age of social media and sensational news. Then, just when it seemed the trial might reach a verdict, a surprise witness appeared: an ex-girlfriend of D4vd, who testified about his past behavior, including episodes of jealousy and controlling tendencies. Her testimony was both sympathetic and damning, painting a complicated portrait of a man capable of love and rage. "He's not perfect," she said, "but I never thought he would do something like this." Her words added nuance to a story often framed in black and white. As the court prepared for closing arguments, the nation watched closely, eager for resolution, but aware that the truth might be more elusive than anyone hoped. The case had morphed from a straightforward accusation into a labyrinth of conflicting emotions, hidden motives, and shattered lives through it all. The question remained, was D4vd truly the killer? Or was he a tragic figure caught in a storm beyond his control? The answer would soon come, but the scars left by the ordeal would linger far longer, reminding us all of the fragile line between fame and infamy, love and violence. And with that, the trial reached its most intense moments. But the story was far from over. Next up, we'll dive into the aftermath, the reactions, and the shocking secrets still waiting to be uncovered. The verdict had been delivered. But the shockwaves were just beginning to ripple through every corner of the community. D4v was found guilty, the courtroom erupting in a mix of gasps, sobs, and stunned silence. Fans were devastated, some refusing to believe the outcome, while others said justice had finally been served. The family was left shattered, D4vd's parents in tears. The victim's family finally feeling a painful sense of closure. But as the dust settled, new questions emerged, threatening to unravel everything once more. Almost immediately after the verdict, rumors of an appeal surfaced. D4vd's legal team claimed new evidence had come to light, promising to fight for their client's freedom. This news split the public further, reigniting fierce debates online. Some rallied behind D4vd, desperate to believe in his innocence, while others braced for what they feared might be a never-ending saga of legal battles. Amid the frenzy, whispers began about a secret diary belonging to D4v. Discovered by investigators during a late search of his personal effects. The diary allegedly contained confessions, cryptic notes, and unsettling reflections on his relationship with the victim. Experts speculated that if these writings were authentic, they could either confirm guilt or provide insight into a troubled mind wrestling with dark impulses. But the diary was kept under tight wraps, fueling speculation and conspiracy theories. Meanwhile, the victim's family found themselves thrust into the spotlight as they navigated their newfound roles as advocates for victims' rights. They launched campaigns to raise awareness about domestic violence and stalking, channeling their grief into a mission to protect others. Their strength inspired many, but also drew criticism from those who accused them of exploiting tragedy for publicity. The music industry, still reeling from the scandal, began a slow process of reckoning. Some artists spoke out about the toxic pressures of fame and the importance of mental health, while others distanced themselves from the controversy. Record labels tightened contracts and platforms implemented stricter policies on artist conduct, signaling a shift in how celebrity behavior would be managed moving forward. Unexpectedly, a new figure entered the drama, mysterious woman claiming to have been a secret witness to key moments in the story. Her identity was kept confidential, but she released statements hinting at unseen forces manipulating events behind the scenes. This added a thrilling layer of intrigue, suggesting the possibility of a larger conspiracy involving powerful players. Desperate to control the narrative, social media remained a battlefield. Fan communities fractured, with heated exchanges, tearful posts, and even threats. The line between supporters and detractors blurred, revealing the deep emotional scars left by the case. Mental health professionals weighed in, warning about the dangers of online mob mentality and the need for compassion amidst conflict. Years later, the case would still be referenced in pop culture, a cautionary tale about fame, trust, and the devastating consequences of hidden secrets. Documentaries, podcasts, and books would delve into every angle, keeping the conversation alive and reminding us that sometimes the darkest stories are the ones closest to home. And yet, despite all the answers and outcomes, one question lingered in the hearts of many: was justice truly served? Or had the truth been sacrificed to satisfy a hungry public? As the spotlight faded, the shadows remained. hinting at secrets that might never be fully uncovered. For now, the world watches, waits, and wonders, because in stories like these, the end is rarely the end. Thanks for sticking with us through this roller coaster of emotions and revelations. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next chapter of breaking news and real talk. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What do you really think happened? Do you believe D4vd is guilty, or is there more beneath the surface? We want to hear from you. Alright fam. Now that you've heard every wild twist and shocking turn in this unbelievable saga, it's time for you to weigh in. What do you really think happened? Is D4vd the killer? Or is this whole thing a tangled mess of lies, secrets, and cover-ups? Drop your hottest takes and theories in the comments below. We want to know exactly how you feel about this mess. And hey, if you're as hooked on this drama as we are, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss a single update when we drop new episodes diving even deeper into the stories you care about. Trust me, this roller coaster isn't stopping anytime soon, so stay tuned and stay loud. Your voice matters, so speak up, share, and let's get this conversation started.